This is a show that will blow your mind, but it might not. It all depends. Do you like breakfast and a book with a friend? Hello, guys. We are going to be cooking today. I got some ingredients laid out. I think I remembered to lay everything out. Um, this is an experiment that I'm doing. So I'm not going to hold on to the phone the whole time. I'm probably going to prop it up here in a minute. It's going to be an interesting day. Hey, how's it going, Christy? I'm going to be cooking, making some waffles and stuffs. There's some of the ingredients. There's also some steak there, some eggs, and all that good stuff. I'm making it for just for two, although actually it makes four. So they're obviously off a little bit, but that's cool. I'm not sure how this is going to go filming wise because I'm basically going to prop up the phone right here. Oh, you having microwaved oatmeal? Yeah, there's tons of that left, by the way. That's what one of the things I found interesting was there's so much oatmeal left. Nobody is buying oatmeal, so hey, good for us, right? If you like the oatmeal. Let's see. You can see my belly here. Woo! Woo! Boop, 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 boop. Okay, we're gonna make waffles, everybody. So let's do it. So you want to mix the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients separately. So you've got 1 cup of flour. Bam. You've got half a tablespoon of baking powder. Bam. Oh no, I've turned into Lagasse, right? Isn't that Lagasse who says bam all the time? I'm not going to say bam anymore. Not one more time, guys. Bam. Gotcha. All right. Oh, and then now this is where I defer a little bit. They say to use 3 tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to go 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar, or any brown sugar, it doesn't really matter. Dark brown sugar was all they had at the store, so I bought dark brown sugar. So that's 2 of those. I have a tiny bit more. Then, after that, oh yeah, also don't forget to get your waffle iron going. For me, I've got a sweet, sweet Star Wars waffle iron, which I'm turning on right now. Alright. So, boom, boom, boom. Oh, I forgot one thing. Where is my measuring cup? Ah. You need milk for this. So hold on 1 second, people. Milk. I'm back with milk. I say milk, by the way. I know you're supposed to say like milk, but I can't say it that way. I say milk. I had to turn it around so that I could see the actual cups, but then it turns out the whole time that it's just 1 cup. So, now you put this in a separate bowl. 1 egg. Bam! Boom! Slow! I'm just making noise because I don't know what else to do. People told me they wanted to see me do this cooking part, so I'm doing it. So one thing I do that they don't really say to do is I actually mix up the dry ingredients too. So I stir it all up. Especially since I'm using brown sugar. You want to make sure the brown sugar is squished up a little bit because it's a little thicker. So you do this stuff and you make a mess because you're a maniac and you're doing this in a hurry, and normally people don't want you to do this, so you just kind of do it however you feel like doing it, and instead now I'm doing it this way. So once those are stirred up, put that. Then, let me see if I remembered that all right. Just water, milk, and then you stir this up. Stir, 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 stir. I am stirring a bunch of milk and egg together while I cook. This is not going to be as cool as I thought it would, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So then, you mix these two together. Now the lady says it's okay if there is lumps in it, and it looks like there are lumps, so that's probably good then. The lady who I got the recipe from and then changed the recipe, because that's what you do. You look at somebody else's recipe and then you put together your own recipe and you make it happen in your own way. That's how we do it. And we're going to wash this off. Dry it with the peace towel. Peace. And remember, I already did it before, but remember to wash your hands beforehand. I'm going to do it again, just to get some washing in there, you know what I mean? You got to get some washing. I'm doing a cooking show. What a weirdo. I'm doing a cooking show on my Facebook Live. And then I'm also going to talk about a book and a couple of other things. Brandon Sanderson book. If you haven't read Brandon Sanderson, you're fucking up, because Brandon Sanderson is awesome. If you comment, I will do my best to take a look back and respond from time to time. I'm also going to try to move the camera so that you can take a look at anything that I do over there with the cooking and stuff like that. I'm new at this as far as the cooking part goes. I've been normally just doing a show where I read a book while I eat this food that I've already made, so we'll see how this goes. It could also take like 40 minutes, so hope you're in for the long ride. Hey, maybe not 40 minutes, but... So, we're going to get a waffle started. A little canola oil. See, now we're gonna take a look. Yeah, waffle time. So hopefully that will be doing the trick. So let's see here. Now we got this steak. Bam, we'll switch it around. That steak I made last night, so I'm gonna warm it up. And I'm gonna cook some fried eggs. My fried eggs cooking is pretty oh, hey Vicky, thank you. I'm trying to be awesome. I'm trying to keep people entertained during the corona apocalypse, which it may literally be if we're not all careful. So stay inside, guys. Stay inside. Make waffles. That's the whole point of this stuff. So I just want to talk about my steak. I made steak last night. I use my cat was out there. Hold on. We got to take a look at the cat. Cat. Can it zoom? Yeah, it can zoom. There's my cat. That's Ash. Anyways, so I made steak last night. It was pretty tasty. And now I'm gonna warm up a little bit. Now, when I warm up steak, what I do is I cut it up into cubes, and then I put a little butter on the grill, add a little more spice, and let it just grill it up real quick, like five minutes to keep it warm. So here we go. Cutting food up, I'm cutting steak. I'm singing a song while I cut a steak. This is not an original song, really, but it is because I wrote it myself. I wrote it myself. Where are you, butter? I do not see butter. Butter. Butter makes everything better. I think I forgot to add butter to the batter, but it wasn't very much. It shouldn't make a difference anyways, but maybe it will. I'll be back. I need a little more butter for the pan. I'm back with butter. If in 1990 you had told me that I'd be making a ridiculous cooking video, I would have told you, no, that's not what's going to happen. But that's what's happening now. Oh, and Carol, my friend, says, like the new place. Thank you. It's a nice new place to live. We've got a house. I'll be walking through it a little bit to get to my breakfast nook in like, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. We've got electric stoves, and I've always cooked on gas stoves, so I'm still getting used to doing that, but I've mostly figured it out. Let's see, plates. I washed these plates We are going to talk Sanderson books, Rich. Come back in 10 minutes after I'm done cooking. Somebody requested that I cook. It's the last time I'm doing it because this is so complicated and not good. Although, look at my sweet ass plate. One of these waffles is going to be for Ariel. So, if you don't know, and you should know, but if you don't know, Ariel is my sweet girlfriend. She's the best. I think we're gonna skip eggs today. Swallow cooking. Yes, that's exactly right. I think we're gonna skip eggs because time-wise. So we're gonna make steak and waffles. I think that's reasonable. So now I'm making steak over here. I'm gonna show you in a second. So what I do is I take the old steak, I cube it up, and then I put a little butter on the pan for non-stick purposes and to also just sort of add a little flavor. Then I add a tiny bit more Montreal steak flavoring. And a tiny bit of garlic usually. But my garlic appears to be missing. Let me cook that up. Now let's see how the waffle is doing. Well, we will see how the waffle is doing in a second. Yeah, Phil, I had to come up with some changes. I realized this is getting a little long. I don't know how people feel about me doing a friggin' long-ass show cooking. Woo! I gotta say, this waffle came out friggin' great. So the other thing I do with the steak is once the stove gets warm enough, I think I'm gonna turn it up a tiny bit here. I will take this guy, boom, and just cover it up a little bit. Like that. That'll make it heat up and stay warm for a little bit. And you're welcome, babe. You are the best. I know you were working or you would be filming for me. And I'm about to bring you a waffle here in a second. Well, in like a minute. Say again, babe? Oh. Ariel says there's a lag on the video, which I guess makes sense. I should team up with Henry Phillips. I know, he is hilarious. If you haven't seen Henry Phillips' cooking show, it is redunculous. Let's taste this. Oh, actually, we need. What do we do with the butter? There it is. You got to put butter on a waffle. What's wrong with you if you don't, right? So, I'm pretty proud of how this waffle came out, you guys. This looks pretty good. Check that out. Huh? Waffles. So anytime you ever think to yourself, oh, waffles seems like it would be very hard to do, think again, my friends. Waffles, not hard to do at all. It's just a cup of flour, about a little less than a cup of milk, melted 1 tablespoon of melted butter. You mix and then you mix the wet ingredients. You add, I like brown sugar, so 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 regular sugar, and if you want, add some cinnamon. I do not have cinnamon right now, so no cinnamon. So this is where I'm making the steaks over here. Making steak, guys. We're about to start another waffle too. That should do it. See? Waffle time. Oh, I think we need a little more. Oh no, that might work. We'll add a little more just to be on the safe side. Look at my awesome Star Wars waffle maker. Yeah, that's a song I wrote called Look at My Awesome Star Wars Waffle Maker. I know it's pretty much the best. Is that waffle fully operational? It sure is, my friend. It sure is. Alright, so steak is pretty much ready. So I can bring Ariel her waffle. I'm trying to find what I did with the cover thing. What did I do with the cover thing? What did I do? Well, we can use this one. Awesome. Ooh, I want to show you how cool the waffle looks right now. Check this out. See if you can see it. Oh, we got steam coming out the waffle. Woo! Fancy, 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 fancy. I almost forgot to make tea. Let's not do that. I'm pouring water in a pan to make tea. Some people like to use a microwave for tea. I don't see why. It takes about the same amount of time. Well, okay, maybe it takes less time to do it in the microwave, but I just like it better this way. I'm sure it makes no difference at all, but I'm doing it that way. So, ooh, you get to see me make tea. Pretty exciting, huh? Gotta go grab a tea bag. tea bag. Do I put too much sugar in my tea? Yeah, probably. Do I add brown sugar to my tea? Yes. Yes, I do. Will this be the last day that I do this as a cooking show? Probably. I'm gonna go bring Ariel her waffle. I gotta pour some syrup. Look, I'm not gonna say that I'm bougie or anything, but you should always get real friggin' maple syrup, alright? It just tastes better. Doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. Not that it makes that much of a difference. The last time I made some syrup myself, just with like butter, brown sugar, a little regular sugar, and some water, and then just put it on the stove and stirred it a whole bunch while I was doing it. That'll work in a pinch, and it's pretty delicious that way too. Ariel's fork. This is a fork Ariel likes. And a knife for Ariel. Bam. We gotta clean this one off though. It's got butter. Well, butter is good. I'm singing a song while I cook some food. Hope you like this thing that I'm doing, cause it's taking a lot of energy. Oh no, things are making a sound. And I think when I come back, our waffle will be done. Pro tip, cooking videos are 90% preparation and 15% math, 5% skill. That's Philip what said that. Yeah, I try to get almost everything prepped ahead of time. I clearly did not. I'll be back. Water is hot enough for tea. Tea, water has been made. Is that a big old glass of tea? Yes, it is. I threw a thing in the air because I don't know what to do while I'm filming a cooking video. Now I picked that thing up. I'm gonna put it over there. Let's see how our waffle's doing. All right, waffle looks good. Bam. Stay on target, stay on target, stay on target, stay on target. I made that waffle. Look, I think it's pretty skilled. And now I'm going to put butter on the waffle. My steak is done. My tea is basically done. So now we're gonna go inside and we're gonna talk about Brandon Sanderson's book and also eat some foods. Also, I'm sweating because I have a sweatshirt on while I'm cooking. I don't know what I was thinking. See, this is the part of cooking shows that they don't show you, where you spend a bunch of time putting butter on your waffle so you can eat it.
Although I bet it doesn't need much butter because it already has butter in it. And let me also go put this butter away so it's not just sticking out in the world. I'm back! So, unplug the waffle iron now that it's done. And we got enough waffle batter for tomorrow where we will try to cook it like a pancake. Because people were wondering, if you don't have a waffle iron, can you cook it like a pancake? And the truth is, I don't know. So we're going to find out tomorrow. First, saran wrap. Haha! Saran wrap thought to thwart me. I wouldn't have it. Okay, now we're gonna add syrup and steak to my plate. Here's the steak. Oops, I spilled some steak. I'm getting stuff out of the way just in case my roommates have to also do cooking. I know this part is pretty exciting. Tea bag. I know it's not the tea bag you're used to seeing on the internet. Hello, dirty jokes. We got this cool thing for our knife, if I can get it in there. Bam! I'm trying to put everything out of the way so my roommates do not have to deal with it. So, that's how this all turned out. Not bad, right? We're gonna go talk about Brandon Sanderson in a second. I thought you had a half shirt, t-shirt over your sweatshirt. It does look like that. This is just my belly now. Look at my belly. It's filled with some waffles, or it will be in just a minute, yeah. I feel like I should live my life totally like a musical. Like I just sing everything all of the time. Pouring syrup on my waffle. It is so delicious, yeah. Hoping my roommates are still asleep, even though I am singing. Fork. Knife. I'm gonna bring this stuff in there, then I'm gonna bring the phone with me. So we're doing it this way. Hold on 45 seconds, maybe 30, maybe 18. clean up a little bit, you know. People use this place. And if you're wondering, is this a 43-year-old man with roommates? Yeah, it is. I live in LA. I tell jokes to drunk people. That is when I can leave my house.
Here we go. I'm going to give you a small tour of my house. Here we go, huh? Yeah. Okay, this is the rec room area. Right there is where I'll be doing stand-up. We'll move that TV out of the way, but I'll do stand-up right there on Thursday. This is my little nook. I put these blankets here because it blocks sound and stuff. But that's where you'll be seeing me, right there. Let's see, let's do this. Oh yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide. All right. So,
here we are in the breakfast nook. We made it, you guys. We did it. Oh, I should close the door just in case there's some noise, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I should leave it open to see if the cats will come. The cats. I have 3 cats, and that makes me awesome. We've got Poe Dameron, Ash, and then Olivia. Olivia already had a name when we got her, so you don't change a cat's name, even though they probably wouldn't even know. Oh yeah, the steak came out good. You guys, you gotta eat food in front of other people, and then chew it in front of them too. Wow. Oh, steak. You really gotta chew steak, you guys. We're gonna do a waffle bite. Then we're gonna talk about Brandon Sanderson. Oh yeah. We're gonna do 2 waffle bites. Then we're gonna talk about Brandon Sanderson. And Michelle, yes, donuts. I wish I could go get donuts. There might be some donut shops open. I mean, I know I don't super have to be nervous about getting coronavirus from a donut, but I certainly would feel bad if I did and then pass it on to all my roommates. So I'm doing my best to just stay inside, listen to what the scientists and the doctors say, because that's the smart thing to do, you guys. William, no, this isn't lunch for me. It's probably lunch for most people, because they get up at like 6 in the morning. But it's not even brunch for me. This is my first meal of the day. So, arguably, it's still breakfast. That's what I say, because I just got up a little bit ago, as you can tell by my hair. My hair doesn't normally look like this. I brush my hair after I take a shower and take care of myself. But let's do this to make it look a little nicer. Huh? Is that better? Not much better, you guys. Not much better. Evidence is that food doesn't give the disease. Cool, that's good to know. Then, and Philip, request for Terry Brooks, please. I'll do Terry Brooks tomorrow then. Today, however, we are going to talk about The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. It's a Mistborn novel. Obviously, I'm not going to eat Terry Brooks. Somebody said for a book, not a meal. Yes, Philip, I'm not going to eat Terry Brooks. He's old. His meat would be stringy. I don't know. That's a terrible joke. But Brandon Sanderson is friggin' amazing. He wrote a whole series of Mistborn novels. This is another Mistborn novel, but it's a standalone. His series kind of sets up a god situation, interestingly, at the end. He also wrote the last 2 books, I want to say, of the Dragon Reborn series. And he is just a super interesting crow. Would you eat that? William, it depends. How bad are things? Somebody said, crow, would you eat that? You know, if we're all wrong, yes. Tea is delicious. You should all have tea.
I'm going to read the what would normally be the back, but since this is a hard book. So, fresh from the sex, let's hear. 300 years after the events of the Mistborn trilogy, Scadrial is now on the verge of modernity, with railroads to supplement the canals, electric lighting in the streets, and the homes of the wealthy and the first steel-frame skyscrapers racing for the clouds. Kelsier, Vin, Elend, Sazed, Spook, and the rest are now part of history, or religion. Yet even as science and technology are reaching new heights, the old magics of allomancy and feruchemy continue to play a role in this reborn world. Out in the frontier lands known as the Roughs, they are crucial tools for the brave men and women attempting to establish order and justice. One such is Waxilium Ladrian, a rare twinborn who can push on metals with his allomancy and use feruchemy to become lighter or heavier at will. After 20 years in the Roughs, Wax has been forced by family tragedy to return to the metropolis of Elendil. Now he must reluctantly put away his guns and assume the duties and dignity incumbent upon the head of a noble house, or so he thinks. Until he learns the hard way that the mansions and elegant tree-lined streets of the city can be even more dangerous than the dusty plains of the Roughs. So basically, this one's sort of a Western version. He has a really cool fantasy magic system where basically they ingest these little metals, and if you have this ability, you can use it to do different stuff. So this guy's specific thing allows him to push. So it like pushes him into the air. He can basically fly. So anything that's metal, he can just push off of. So even if he's in the middle of the air, he could throw a coin in the air and push off the coin, although the coin has to resist a little bit. So if he does it in the air, it would just push the coin towards somebody. He also can use feruchemy, which is basically he has these pieces of metals on, and what it allows him to do is store up weight on one thing and be light so that he has the weight to add, or take away weight depending on what he needs to do. So if he wants to make himself fly faster, he can make himself lighter. It just allows himself to get creative with his things, and he's sort of like a lawman out in the Roughs and stuff like that. He's like this tough dude, helps people out and solves crimes and all of this other good stuff. Great shot with a gun. There's guns involved. It's like a Western. It's like a fantasy Western. Now, you guys know one of the things I really like to do when I'm looking for books is I go to wherever, whatever I'm looking at a book. Now, this guy I already know, so I could just go buy his book. But when it's somebody I don't know that well, what I like to do is open up in the middle, get an idea of their writing. So, Waxilium didn't have time to raise his weapon. He instantly increased his weight and flared his steel as he pushed forward on the doors between the rail cars. The glass windows exploded as the doors bent and ripped free, blocking the bullets as Miles fired 3 times in quick succession. The car lurched as the train began to turn. Heads popped out of compartments, wide eyes searching for the cause of the noise. Miles again took aim down the corridor at Waxilium. Children nearby were crying. I can't risk bystanders, Waxilium thought. I have to get out. As the gun fired, Waxilium threw himself forward. A bullet ricocheted near his head, spraying sparks. He couldn't sense it allomantically. It was aluminum. So if it's aluminum, they can't sense the metal at that point. Waxilium burst out into the space between rail cars, wind roaring and tugging on his clothing. As Miles fired his 6th shot, Waxilium pushed on the couplers below and launched himself upward. He soared into the air above the rail cars. The wind caught him, pushing him backward as he fell. He landed with a thump on the roof several cars to the rear, going down on one knee and steadying himself with his free hand, wind blasting his hair and catching his jacket. He raised his revolver. Come on. Is that not great? That is a freaking, like, that's action-packed awesomeness and description. You can see everything. It's a fucking movie. It's a rail car and his hair blowing in the wind, fucking jacket going back. I mean, come on. That is fun. I have read all of his other novels. They got a little
a little gaudy for me. You know, some of you might know, might not know that I'm an atheist. So when things go a little gaudy, sometimes I'm like, you just because I know he's Brandon Sanderson is a Mormon. It's interesting because there's a bunch of Mormons who are like really good fantasy writers, which makes sense when you think about the things they believe. Yeah, do you like that one? You think about the things they believe because Joseph Smith made all that shit up and they totally believe him. So why not make up a bunch of other bullshit? Um, but I don't mind. Fantasy is the one place where I'm like, yeah, gods, whatever. If I'm reading a book, let's have some fun. Let's pretend. I would love to live in a land where you could do cool stuff like push yourself off of a railroad track and be like through the air. That'd be dope. Um, and it's funny because I met Brandon Sanderson at Comic Con once. I went to go buy his book at his booth. I didn't even know what he looked like until I saw him in person there. And man, it was interesting. I've talked to Chris Rock, had no problem talking to Chris Rock. I met Dane Cook, no problem talking to Dane Cook. All guys who were super famous, never got starstruck. I went to see Brandon Sanderson and he signed my book and he's like, hey, do you have any questions for me? And I super had questions. And I could not remember any of them. I was like, no, just thanks for writing your books. And then I ran off. And that was it. I wish I'd gone back because I totally wanted to ask him how he came up with his magic system because his magic system is very original. It's much different than a lot of traditional fantasy stuff where you basically have a wizard who can control the elements or they have a pocket of energy they can draw from, or you know, there's things that people do in fantasy novels that are pretty consistent. And Brandon Sanderson came up with a completely original magic system, which is very, very fun. And thank you, Philip. Philip Mullen said, great Mormon joke. You're right, Philip. It was a great Mormon joke. So I guess that's everything, you guys. I'm going to finish eating my breakfast and then upload this to YouTube. If you're seeing at the very end and you want to watch the whole thing where I actually cook a waffle and make some steak and run around like the proverbial chicken with its head cut off. I've never seen that happen, so I don't have any proof that that happens, but people say it happens, so maybe it does. But I basically, did my best to show you me cooking a waffle and a little steak and all that stuff. And as always, thank you for listening to Now Cooking Breakfast and a Book with Swallow. Please check out The Alloy of Law and any of Brandon Sanderson's books. He's got a lot more other books too. Some more like original, some more like deep fantasy stuff, like Way of Kings or something along those lines, if I'm remembering the name right. He is a great author, and he also, like I said, finished out the Wheel of Time series, and he did a great job finishing out the Wheel of Time series, bringing out that giant 11 books of madness into a cohesive end is not an easy thing to do, and he totally did it. So any of those just joining right now, I'm about to end. I apologize, but you can check out this video on YouTube. And if you are a person who has extra money and you are into supporting the arts, hook the Swallow up at ron-swallow or at ronswallow at gmail.com, ronswallow at gmail.com. And that'd be cool. If you are not a person who has money, don't give me any money. Keep your money, because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen in the next few days, and few weeks and months, who knows, years maybe even. So please be out there, be careful, listen to the scientists, they're smart people, and everyone be safe out there. Bye.